Hey guys. Hi Carmel. You're
Hey,
all muted except Carmel. Hi Vanessa, you look beautiful. All right, we are just a couple minutes early. So I'm just gonna wait and let people hop on. And I'm gonna take a picture. Who's this? All right, I see 763-283-6057. I'm unmuting you. Who is that?
This is Wayne from Minnesota.
Oh, hi, Wayne. Okay, I'm going to mute you now. And I'm only muting you guys. Wayne, this is probably your first Zoom meetings. I mute people because when we get 10, 15, 20, 25 people on the meeting, there's a lot of feedback and background noise, and it just works better if everyone's muted. But if you want to say something or talk, there's a chat box, or you can unmute yourself, pop in, and then go back to being muted. And if you guys can, if I'm having too much feedback from my husband playing baseball behind me, let me know. I'm going to turn. You can see him. Can you see my husband? Wait. There he is. Isn't he cute playing baseball? He's playing baseball while we have our meeting. So 1 minute to go, and then we'll get started. I'm having an adult beverage while we're having our meeting tonight. Carmel, do we not get to see your face? There it is. I can't hear you. Unmute yourself. Why won't I unmute you? There we go.
there. Yep, no, I'm good.
Where are you? It looks like you're sitting in a sauna.
I know, everyone always asks about that. We added on to our house. We built on we call it a 3-season room in Minnesota,
Okay.
but and it's all, kind of this knotty pine, and so we call it our cabin room.
Yes.
And I don't have anything on the wall yet, so that's why it looks like I'm sitting in a sauna. So,
well,
I will not be sweating during the meeting.
But you could.
I could be, sure.
Yes. But yeah, we call them 3-season rooms here in Nebraska too, because nobody wants to sit anywhere close to the outside in the wintertime.
Right, exactly.
All right, I am going to type out who my on-time people are, because I'm going to do a drawing for a winner at the end. I don't know where a pen is, and I'm too lazy to get up to go find one. Hi, Christy from Hawaii. How are you? It's good to see your face. Okay, Christy is here. Vanessa is here. Wayne is here. Who's that? Rose is here. Noelle is here. Who am I missing? Nadia. Holly. Hi, Holly. Do we get to see Sam? Is he going to pop in for us? I hope so. Okay, let's give it maybe 1 more minute, because I'm waiting for Amy. She is, I'm going to have Amy go first. No, Vanessa, you're going first, right? Yes, Vanessa's going first. Okay, I'm recording this so we can add it to our team YouTube channel, and you guys can, if you're watching this on the replay, thank you so much. We're going to get started, and thank you guys for coming. I really do want to honor your time for being here on time. I'm going to go post something really quick in our page to let people know we're starting. But I asked Vanessa Romano and Amy Ross Camp to talk to you guys tonight, because they both have been having success in their Norwex business, but their roads and paths to success were very, very different. And it's not like they have been doing anything magical or crazy, but I really wanted you guys to hear from them. I think you're going to be super inspired by what they have to say. So with that, hi Amy, hi Shannon, hi Tracy. I'm going to let Vanessa take over, and I'm going to mute myself. So Vanessa, you unmute, and I'm going to mute.
Okay, I got it. So hi everyone, I'm Vanessa. If I haven't met you in person, hopefully I will have the opportunity to do so at conference. So quick backstory about me. So I am a full-time mom, or full-time have a full-time job during the day, also full-time mom. So take care of a little toddler. And my husband also works full-time as well. So our house is busy all the time. So I joined Norwex last August. Kelly did a home party at my house, and I was blown away by Norwex. I had actually barely heard about it. I went to one of her online parties like a month prior to that and just was hooked right away. And I mean, I've always known about different, MLM type companies, and actually joined one a long time ago when I was in college, and just, kind of wasn't really the right time for me. So I joined basically right after I had my party. It was something I was really considering during my party. It was something that like Kelly hadn't even approached me on yet. It just was something that felt right for me. And seeing the Norwex products in person, in my head, all I could think was like, man, these products will just sell themselves. Like, this is amazing. This is exactly what I've been looking for. And like, this is something I can see myself wanting to share with other people. So from my party, I had 2 bookings, which Kelly was gracious to give to me, to give me a great jump start into my business. So one was an in-home party and one was an online party, and both of them were complete flops. I got no bookings out of them, no recruits. I had some sales between both of them, but it was definitely something that just left me, kind of down. Like, I was just like, man, like, these products are so amazing. Like, what is going on? And so I had a lot of coaching sessions with Kelly, and, she was great to give me a lot of feedback and a lot of suggestions. And every time she gave me something new to try, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go for it. So I kept trying and I kept trying, and I just kept striking out. And I went quite a few months before I had a booking. Um, and finally, I had one of my friends who's a Mary Kay consultant. She was willing to host a party, and so we kind of did like a party swap, basically. So I helped her, she helped me, and I was okay with that because at that point I was desperate. So this was in December, was when we had her party. And so thankfully I got, a couple bookings from there. It was like the best party that I ever had sales wise. That was a great motivation to just keep me going. And so I came into the new year and I was like, all right, I can do this. But again, like, I struck out in January and I was just like, man, what is going on? And so then going to the team summit retreat in February, I had like a heart to heart with Brooke Ayub. She came and talked to us, and she was inspiring, and her story was inspiring about how she just had this quick success and she really just went for it. And I was just like, man, like, everyone's stories that I'm hearing are all these quick success stories, but that's not happening to me. Like, what is going on? And Brooke just like sat down with me and she was honest, and she was like, look, like, you could be doing all the right things, you could be trying new things, but like, you have to find the why that's going to keep pushing you to go where you want to go and do what you want to do. Because to me, I'm like, hey, I know X, Y, and Z will get me A, B, and C, but I'm doing X, Y, C, and Z and going A, B, C, and D. I'm still not getting these results. And I took a step back after that retreat and I realized what I was missing. Like, I just kind of came into this business thinking Norwex was going to sell itself, and thinking that I didn't have to, push it forward, that it would just kind of happen. And I don't think that, I mean, that's a hard mentality to have, right? Like, you have to be willing to work at your business and keep doing the same things, like, and doing the things you don't want to do, right? Keep making the phone calls, keep reaching out. If someone said no to me, I took that personally, and I stepped back and was like, just because somebody says no doesn't mean they don't like me as a person. I was really scared of the stigma that I was going to have with my friends, thinking I was this salesy, in-home business person that was going to bug them. And I like pushed myself to change my mantra and my mindset, and just diligently woke up every morning. And anytime I caught myself in a negative thought, I stopped myself in my tracks, and just said, no, like you're not going to push yourself into the negative today. You're going to keep yourself in the positive. And so little by little, I just kind of knocked away at, the things that I was doing, the little things that I was doing in my business that was getting me success. I wasn't recognizing that, and I wasn't rewarding myself for it. I can set really high expectations for myself and for others. And so I think my problem is I was thinking, if I get to, if I have, I wasn't recognizing the small accomplishments. I was thinking I needed to have my party calendar full every month to be successful, instead of celebrating like, hey, I got one booking, I'm going to knock this out. And so I recognized, the small successes. And then I also recognized what small repetitive tasks I was doing that was keeping me successful. So when I did have a success, I took a step back and thought, what did I do that got me to this point? And and it was even Kelly that had told me at one point too, and I think this is a Ray Higdon quote, that perfectionism is just a fancy term for procrastination. And that is 100% what I was doing. What I was guilty of in my business is I was procrastinating. I was procrastinating making my follow-up calls. I was procrastinating just, asking people, do you want to host a party? I was procrastinating the recruiting conversations. And I didn't take advantage of a lot of conversations I probably could have had in previous parties and just previous interactions with people. And I'm probably still a little bit guilty of that, because I feel like, I'm holding myself back. But every day I push myself a little bit farther. And I definitely also took advantage of a lot of really great training opportunities that we had recently. And so if you have an opportunity to do training and learn more, do it. I did 2 trainings at the same time, which again, I have a full-time job. So like doing that at night after my daughter was in bed, I mean, it felt like a lot, but I got so many resources and so many new tips and tricks and things to try, that basically ultimately in this month, I ended up at the beginning of the month, I had 7 parties on my calendar, which is the most I've ever had since I joined. I went from 2 in May to 7 this month. A couple of them have now rescheduled, but so far I still have 5 parties on my calendar this month. Which to me, again, I'm trying to celebrate my successes here. So in a nutshell, and to not try and ramble too much, don't let the comparison of people's instant success stories overwhelm you, because we know that, not that that's amazing for those people that can really jump off the ground and hit it and go hard and get it hard. But that doesn't happen to everybody, and that's okay. Like, I think we're all guilty of comparing ourselves to other people's successes, when we just need to take a step back, help, support each other, help push everyone else up, and focus on your own goals and focus on your own accomplishments and your own successes, and you will get your business to where you want to be. For me, baby steps is fine, because trying to, run this business and work full time is really hard. So for me to be diligent to just set the time and do it, it's been worth it so far, and it continues to push me. And in all of those times when I, was down and I didn't have parties, I honestly, I thought about quitting a lot of the time. And even during that time, between the middle of March, I broke my leg basically. So I was out of commission for at least 6 weeks. I couldn't put weight on my leg for 6 weeks. So that basically meant in-home parties out. I could probably do online parties, but before I had my accident, I didn't even have parties on my calendar. So try to get those as well. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to take a break. I'm going to recollect. I'm going to try to figure out, how I can still stay with my business, even if I'm not doing parties. Find an organization, which is what I did. And then once I was cleared to be able to get back moving, then I literally hit the ground running. I mean, once I got cleared for my walking boot, I had 2 vendor events in the same weekend, and I like had messaged Kelly, and I was freaking out because the first day walking on my boot, I was like, I don't know if I can handle this. Like, this is gonna be a crazy weekend. But I mean, like, I just pushed through it because I was like, I have to do it. This is the jump start that I need. So take every opportunity that you can get and just push yourself forward. If you think about wanting to quit, message your upline, message your pacing partner, and just say, hey, like, I'm not sure, like, what can I do? And someone can help push you to the positive and just keep you moving, because we have so much to do and we just have to keep going. So that's my story. Around this out. So because of the success I was able to start getting once I came back from my injury, and once I got clear for my boot, now I'm reaping the rewards of that. So now, because of the 2 parties that I had in May, like, the extra commission that I had from that, I've been able to just go, towards paying those medical bills, because I'll have to pay some out of pocket. And so that's been an easy discussion to have with my husband, to say, like, hey, yeah, we got all these medical bills. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to work to have strong months the next few months, so that I can have my commission money go towards paying those. And that way we don't have to worry about where we're going to come up with this money out of pocket. So, find those little things, find your why, and, just push yourself, because it's worth it. And I promise everyone, even the people who have, amazing instant success right away, they have downtimes too. And so you gotta just focus on the positive and focus on, those good times to help push you through those downtimes. So anyways, yeah, that's my story.
Oh my gosh, Vanessa, thank you so much. Now, we're going to let Amy talk next, but if you guys are watching this and you have questions after Carmel goes, and so we're going to go Amy, then Carmel, then I'm going to open this up for some Q&A. So if you guys have a question, like specifically for Vanessa or specifically for Amy, about their journey, what they did or didn't do, or any of that kind of stuff, there will be some time for that too. So Vanessa, thank you so much. You brought tears to my eyes, and I'm so proud of you. And I mean it when I say that you have inspired me the last 9 months. Like, I am a better person for knowing you. So I'm just so glad you're here and on this journey with all of us. So
thanks, Kelly. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak today. I've truly felt honored. So I'm glad to share, any tidbits too. So
awesome. Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to turn it over now to Amy, who has another just totally different journey and some good words of wisdom for you guys too. So I'm going to go back to muting me, and Amy now.
All right. Can you hear me? Did I do that right? Okay, awesome. So I kind of missed the first part, so I'm just going to introduce myself. I don't know what you told us to say at the beginning, Kelly, but so I'm Amy. I am from Washington State. I live in pretty much the farthest northwest corner of the continental United States as you can. I am a pastor's wife, a stay-at-home mom to an 8, 4, and 2-year-old, and we are in process of adopting our 4th. So busy at home. Norwex is my only job. I don't have another job. I mean, besides, running after children. But so Kelly asked me to talk about recruiting tonight. So I joined in June of last year. So this is my 1-year anniversary this month. Carissa, who is my direct upline, Carissa Martin, she encouraged me to start recruiting right away, right when I joined. And I was like, no, I am trying to learn home parties and Facebook parties and back office stuff. And I don't even know what half of these products are. Like, I am drowning and I'm not taking someone else down with me. So I will we'll put that on the back burner and we'll deal with that later. So what I did is, I did the Ask Me a Question About My Job game, which for those of you who are not familiar with that, it's just basically you set the timer on your phone for 3 minutes at like a home party, and then they can ask you any question about your job. And then they get a ticket or a playing card or something, and then you just draw for a winner at the end. And you can also do it on Facebook, just like in the comments. So I did it very consistently on Facebook and like somewhat consistently in home parties. I did it very well for the first couple of months, and then I was like, this doesn't work. Like, this is just crap. I'm not doing this anymore. So then I kind of like weaned it out, and Chris was like, you need to keep doing it. You're not doing anything for recruiting. You need to at least try something. So I would begrudgingly occasionally throw it in there, but most of the time I didn't do anything. So that was my recruiting game, which was not very good at all. But I got my first recruit in November. She was a home party host, and I got my second recruit in December, and she was a Facebook guest. And I saw no reason why these people would want to join my team. Like, I was like, I don't know what you guys are doing, but yay, I'm happy. Like, I'm super pumped you're here, but I don't okay, great. And I just didn't see, I guess I didn't see like I had anything to offer them. So fast forward to February, I went to the retreat, which I think Vanessa kind of talked about too. But so that was the end of February in Omaha. And so I flew out from Washington to go to this retreat, and I knew like retreats like this, you normally have to work on something or make a plan or something. So at the end, we made an action plan. Here's mine. I still have it. And I knew I had to work on recruiting. So I've not had a problem with sales or bookings or anything like that. Like those made sense in my brain. I understood how to do them. I understood like, if I can't get a booking, here are different things I can do. Recruiting, I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I knew I had to work on recruiting. So the first section of this little sheet was mindset. Now at this point in my business journey, I guess, I was one of those like mindset people. Like, this is just bull crap. This is not worth 2 cents. But I am also a good rule follower. So I wrote my mindset out, and it says, I recruit easily. Champions want to join my team. I have value to offer and a great opportunity to share. Did I believe this? Absolutely not. But I decided I would do the work anyway, because to me, I was like, I think the work is where it's at, and I think that's what's going to change my mind. So my strategy and what I decided to do, well, I'm just going to talk about part of it tonight, but I decided to have 5 recruiting conversations a week for 90 days. I thought this was a manageable amount. I didn't think like this was too crazy. I was a little worried that I wouldn't have enough people to talk to, because that's like 65 recruiting conversations in 90 days. Now, I did decide that they didn't need to be 65 different people. So I just had to talk to people 65 different times. So I ended up talking to 45 people over those 90 days. And statistics from what I've heard, 1 in like 8 to 10 people join. So I should have had like 4 to 6-ish people join. So in those 90 days, my team went from a team of 2, I added 7 people on. So a team of 2 to a team of 9. I promoted to team coordinator, and I am no longer a mindset person. Now, granted, I feel like normally we're taught, start with mindset and then work. But for me, that didn't work because I just couldn't get myself there. But as I started to see, like, people were interested, like, I did have something of value to offer. I think then my mindset caught up, and it just kind of evened itself out, excuse me, a little bit. So going into the join for free month, because my 90 days ended the second to last week of May. Oh, I also forgot to tell you this. I went home. I'm very type A personality. I made myself a sheet that has 5 different lines for everything. And I did finish it. I didn't write all the last dates on there. But I did talk to all those people. Let's see. Oh, so when Join for Free came, Kelly told me this. She's like, when you when you do this, set up a notebook and write down people's names and the dates you talked to them and just like what you talked about. Maybe you reached out and just said, hey, like, I think you're awesome. I think you'd be great at this. Would you like to look at some information? Or maybe you told them about an offer that Norwex is doing or something, but just keep track of that. And she said, when we get to a Join for Free month, you're going to have all these people that you can contact. And I didn't even feel like I had to wait for Join for Free because Norwex has had like crazy good joining opportunities in March and April too. But yeah, so I've had three people join this month, one with the full starter kit and two with the Join for Free kits. And I probably have 3 who are very, very seriously considering it. But like I wouldn't have had those just waiting for me if I had not done all this work. So I think my main takeaway was it's kind of just a numbers game. Now, I know there's going to be times when, and there was times for me when I talked to 20 people in a row and they all ignored me or they all said no. And that will happen. But you know what? Overall, it's going to be the 1 in 8 to 10 people that join. So like, if you talk to 30 people and they all ignore you, no big deal. Like eventually you're going to hit a string of like 3 in 7 are going to be like, yes, please sign me up right now. And I think that just made it easier for me. People have always asked me, like, how do you have so many bookings on your calendar? Like my calendar for next month, I think, well, next month we're on vacation. This month I have 13 parties. And my only secret that I tell people is I ask every single person at every single party if they want to book. Like I don't have any specific great wording. I just ask everybody. And I think that's what I am not going to Cabo yet. Sorry, I just saw that. I think what I learned is you just have to talk to people. And like, yes, there will be times when you don't hear back from anybody and it's super frustrating. But it's not because like Vanessa said, it's not because they hate you or they think you're just like crazy or one of those silly party people. Like, it's just not the right time for them, or they have another amazing thing that they're working on right now. It's nothing against you. And I think I've heard this from other higher up Norwex people. Like the only reason I'm here is I've just heard no more times than you have. And that's really what it is. Like we just have to keep going. Yeah, that's really all I wanted to say. So I'm done. And it's 10 minutes, so I need to be done.
Okay, so before you go totally, you left out a pretty important part of your story. How are you following up with your recruiting game people before we chatted in February?
I had that in here, and then I was just trying to follow my notes, but I didn't. So my Facebook parties, I knew I had to follow up with all these people who were asking me questions about my job, but I didn't know what to do, and I didn't ask because I will just do it my own way. Thank you very much. And so I just came up with this verbiage that was, hey, thanks so much for asking me a question about my job. So were you like interested in the business opportunity or did you just want a prize? Which is possibly like the worst verbiage you can ever do. Don't ever do that. So yes, that is very true. So at the retreat, Kelly also gave me some much better verbiage, and I've been using that since. So if you don't know good verbiage to use, I mean, you can probably search in Teen Summit. There's a lot in there. If you don't know, you can message me, you can message your upline. Like, I'm sure anybody would be happy. You can message Kelly. Like, I'm sure anyone would be happy to send you the some better verbiage, but don't ask people if they just want a prize because it's just not going to.
Thank you, Amy. Everybody give Amy a hand. Give Vanessa a hand. Thank you so much, you guys. Just awesome. All right, now I'm going to turn over to Carmel. She is, if you don't know, the regional sales manager for me here in Nebraska. So she is is working with all of us. And I'm so honored that she is here with us again tonight for our team meeting. And she's just has some great words of wisdom to build onto what Vanessa and Amy have been telling us.
All right. Thanks, Kelly. Hey, everyone. Man, you guys, an awesome, awesome job and really hard act to follow. You guys, I swear you were like in my notes saying stuff to prep everybody because you really hit the message here. All about, focus on the right things from Vanessa, and also don't give up and stay consistent from Amy. So those things tie right into what I was going to share a little bit about, which I'm calling it rocks and pebbles for a successful business. And it'll all make sense in a moment. Okay, rocks and pebbles. Yes, Kelly, I saw her lips move. So the direct sales business is really a business that thrives on being boringly consistent in your business and doing the same activities day in and day out. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be bored in the business, but it just means that you want to be consistent. And you heard that from Amy loud and clear. Business activity, you just want to stay consistent and give it its needed time, and you will see results. And you really heard that from both of our speakers. And there are bigger activities that drive the business, and there are also smaller activities that add support. And you kind of want to have a mixture of all of those things. And sometimes we get so excited, we get so caught up, and we go to different trainings, we listen to different things, we go to meetings, and these are wonderful things to do, but sometimes we have so many ideas that we're bouncing all over the place trying everything. And we can even do Norwex 24/7 because we're so darn excited that we kind of forget to perhaps have a life and remember our family and figure out how it all fits, because we want to do Norwex to support our family, not in spite of our family, right? That's why we're all here, the flexibility, and we're passionate about that. But if we're working Norwex 24/7, it's going to be easy to get overwhelmed, and things then maybe don't fit so great or so neatly into our lives. And so what we want to think about doing is prioritizing the activities that we want to focus on or need to focus on, and then being able to take action on those so that things run more smoothly and the processes and all of the things that are important in our life fit together more effectively. So what are those key activities that we would want to be sure we're doing in our business, and how do you prioritize them? That's really kind of the million-dollar question. So I like to think about our business like a large glass jar. So it's big, it holds a lot of stuff, but you can kind of see into it, okay? So hang with me. If I would have been super organized on top of it, I might have even had a prop to show you, but I didn't have a pickle jar big enough. So we're going to just go with imagination, okay? So what happens if you throw all the big business activities, let's call them rocks, and even some of those medium-sized business pebbles into the jar all willy-nilly at the same time? Will they all fit? Maybe, maybe not. And they might even end up falling out of the jar. So you've got business falling everywhere, making a mess of your life. Might even break the jar because you just didn't plan and everything just got wedged in there. So it can make a mess of your life. It can make a mess of your business, make a mess of your office if your business jar breaks and everything comes tumbling out. So you guys envisioning that? So let's focus on how can we make everything fit better for us, better for our family, better for our business, while still focusing on those key activities, those things that are going to make the difference in our business. So we're going to start with those big rocks, those key drivers. And that's where you want to focus. Those are the ones you want to drop in your jar first. And so think about what are those top 3 things that you would want to focus on in your business first. And you can either type it into the chat or you can unmute quick and shout it out. You guys know the answers. I know you do. Anybody want to guess? Oh, okay. Kelly's like, come on. All right. Do I need to help you? Parties. Thank you, Teresa. Yes, you want to book parties. And it can be parties, it can be pop-ups, it can be vendor events. You want to book something where you're in front of people. whatever way that is, right? Everything happens at the party. Totally agree, Kelly. All right, so selling. Thank you, Royalyn. Oh, I love your name. So cool. Selling, exactly. You got to share the product, right? Because if you're not selling the product, we're not giving benefit to the people who would buy it, and you're not able to provide for your family if you're looking at this as a business, which I think we all are at whatever level works for you and your family and your life. And when you sell more, right, you create more safe havens, you make a bigger impact, and it's a win for you and for the customer who purchases that Norwex from you. All right, ask everyone. I love that. And that can actually tie into number 3. And I don't know if somebody already typed it and I just missed it. Recruiting. You heard Amy talk about it loud and clear, right? It's about sharing the blessing of a safe haven business with other people. And if you feel like, wow, this business has made a difference for me, whether it's personally or financially or, friendship-wise or business-wise or whatever that looks like for you, wouldn't you want to pay it forward and pass it on? So those 3 things, booking, selling, and recruiting, those are the big rock activities that we're going to put in our jar first. We always want to be sure we're doing those first because they are priority. They are very key to creating whatever success you're looking for in your business. So you want to put those in your calendar as well as in your jar, in our analogy, first. So where are you going to put those parties? Obviously, you're going to sell as part of your parties, so those tie in nicely, or maybe you're selling at other types of situations, like we said, vendor events or pop-ups or whatever that looks like. And then, of course, your recruiting is also going to come from there too. But you do want to make time, as Amy said, to do those recruiting follow-ups or those conversations. So those are our first 3 big rocks that go in our jars and in our calendar. So now think about what would be those smaller pebbles or activities that could support those big rocks, right? Because you think about it, there's 3 main things that will actually support the booking, the selling, and the recruiting so that you do more of them. And so I'll give you a hint. The first one is host coaching, right? Because when you host coach, you're going to have better parties. You're going to sell more. You're going to have more bookings because you had more people there. You're going to recruit more effectively, again, because you had more people there. So when you host coach, you impact all 3 of those big nuggets, right? Those big rocks. You'll sell more, you'll book more, and you'll recruit more. So we definitely want to be sure that we're making room in our jar and in our calendar for host coaching, all right? How about customer care? That's huge, right? And again, if you do customer care, and there's all sorts of great ways to do your customer care and follow up, you are going to sell more, you're going to book more, and you're going to recruit more people. And so that's the beautiful thing about these smaller pebbles is so far the 2 we've talked about will support all 3 of your big rocks very, very nicely. So they're going to fit into your jar and into your calendar in a way that's going to really work well for your business. The third small rock that I would like to suggest that we all remember to make time for is to meet new people. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced this, but there are some times in our businesses where we are talking to the same people over and over and over again, and we end up with the repeat hosts, and we end up with the same people coming to our parties, and we love and appreciate that they're passionate about Norwex, and they're such loyal customers and fans, and they keep buying more from us, but eventually they have more than they need or enough for now, and they're not going to be helping us to move our business forward if we have a plan to grow, right? And now whatever that looks like, maybe growing for you is making $100 a month, maybe it's making $100 a week or a day or an hour, whatever that is for you, new customers are going to be key. So we always need to be looking for ways to meet new people. Now, obviously, parties are going to help us out. The host is bringing us new people, and that really helps to make our business grow quicker and easier, which is also why when you have a repeat host, you want to use my favorite strategy, which is the 5 new person challenge. And that's not the sexiest name ever, but you guys get the concept. Whenever you have a repeat host or a repeat group, you challenge your host to have 5 people there who are new to Norwex in addition to their same great friends. And you reward them with an extra thank you when they do. Because every time you have a new person sitting at a party in front of you, on average, you're going to spend $100 versus a repeat person on average spends about $40 to $50. Now, again, we still love and appreciate all of our wonderful, loyal Norwex customers. Don't ever, misunderstand that I'm not saying that. We do. But in order to grow our business and be strategic and meet our goals, whatever that is, and help other people and help more people, we need to be sure that we're meeting new people. So parties are one way. And then, of course, getting involved in other outside types of activities, which could be a whole other topic we can talk about another time. But where can you meet new people? It might be vendor events. It might be networking groups. There's all sorts of things that you can do. But find a way to meet new people each and every month. And if your parties schedule is where you want it to be and you're having 8 to 10 new people at every party, you may be moving and grooving and you may not need to do something extra. But if you have a higher goal to do more parties than you have currently, you might need to get a new stream or an additional stream of new people in your business. Okay, so we can talk more about that another time. But host coaching, customer care, and meeting new people are 3 very critical small pebbles that you want to add in to your jar, into your calendar, into your business to support those other 3, which is booking, selling, and recruiting. Okay? So now you've got our bigger rocks, we've got our smaller pebbles in our jar and in our calendar, but we still have some space left in our jar and in our calendar. So there are some other key activities. I like to call them practical business actions, and that's actually Kelly's phrase. I like how she said that. And really there's no magic formula here, but it's really about what are those key things that we need to do consistently to support the rocks and the pebbles. And these things are things that would actually fit into our jar or into our business or into our calendar around all that other stuff. So it's kind of like, think of them like sand. And you're just pouring the sand in the jar and it just sifts down in, floats down in, and fills all the crevices. These are things that are practical, they're important, and they will fit around and support all those other things. So for example, number 1, always working with consistency. If you, as Amy said, and I think probably Vanessa said it too, working with consistency is key. Everything you do goes easier. Have any of you ever done a party and then not done a party for weeks and then do another party and you totally feel like you're a brand new consultant and like you never did a party before? It's suddenly like, oh my gosh, how do I do that? What do I say? Oh, I forgot to talk about the mop. What the heck, right? Because we're not in our groove. We're like always starting over. We're always new, which is why when you consistently do whatever that is, a party every week, a party every other week, whatever that is, you're going to be far more effective and grow your business quicker because you're not having to start over again every time, so to say, in your comfort level and in your wording and in your knowledge. You get, so everything kind of flows, and I say you get in your groove. So much easier to stay on that roll than stopping and starting all the time. So stay consistent, work with consistency. Second thing that's like sand in your calendar or in your jar is sharing Norwex with a large pool of people. It's a numbers game. Amy talked about that, proving that, you talk to consistently a number of people, you are going to meet a lot of people. You are going to find a lot of people who want what you have, whether that's a booking or purchasing or recruiting or all of the above. Sharing Norwex with a lot of people, because it's a numbers game, it's like trying to catch enough fish for dinner and you only got one little minnow in the pond. You're going to catch a lot more fish for dinner if you throw a net out there and you scoop everybody back in. So that's kind of what always sharing with a larger group of people, which is why we want to have 10 people at a party instead of 3 or 4. Yes, you can still do great sales and make some good money with 3 or 4 people, but man, why not have 8 or 10 people hear your brilliance? You're saying the same thing, whether you got 3 or 4, you got 8 or 10. why not have all these more people hear your wisdom? And that's twice as many people that you will help to have a safer home. So that is really supporting our goal and our mission, right? Because that's a lot more people that we're helping. Third thing, touch your business daily, even if it's just for 15 minutes a day. Most everybody has a family and or they work another job. Maybe they have more than one business on top of that. Maybe they're homeschooling. We're all, volunteering in our communities. We're all doing a ton of things because busy people get things done. So great job. We're all here and we're all, I say like it's the spinning plates act. We're all spinning all our plates. We get down to the end, we run back down and we keep spinning to keep them all going. So if you do not touch your business daily, you will get so caught up in all the other things that you're doing. You might realize, wow, it's been 4 days since I've done anything in my business. And again, it just slides you back a little bit. It gets you off your groove a little bit more. And like Amy said, those are a lot of people that you maybe have missed that you wanted to follow up with, or you could have followed up with, or you should have followed up with, because you want to not only move your business forward, but you want to give them great service too. So touching your business daily, even if it's for 15 minutes, and most people find if they block it out in their calendar somewhere, it'll actually get done. Right? Yes. Kelly said yes. Totally. Even it seems dumb, like, 15 minutes, right? I swear to you guys, I write even the littlest things in my calendar because otherwise my day just escapes me and I go, wow, it's 6:00 and I never did that. So I've started to actually schedule lunch into my calendar because otherwise I was finding I was never getting lunch and I would book calls back to back to back to back. And you guys probably do the same thing with all the other things in your life. So schedule whatever it is, time to work on your business. 15 minutes or more if you can, but at least start with that. Prioritize your tasks like we've been talking about. Rocks in first, then pebbles, then sand. All right. We'll come back to that just in a moment. Also limit your time wasters. These can be huge for many of us. Maybe you are a master Facebook surfer and you just are on there all the time seeing what everybody's doing. Nice face, Kelly. And, you're like, you get sucked in, right? You're like, I wonder what my family's doing. I have 5 siblings, so, there's always something going on. Like, what are they doing? And then I hop on my Norwex one and find out what all the consultants are doing. And then I'm over here and then I'm over there. And suddenly, wow, there's 45 minutes. Oh my gosh, right? I was supposed to write 2 trainings and go to the bathroom. And I totally forgot to do all that stuff. And so be careful. Facebook's fabulous, but you probably have all experienced at one time or another. It's easy to get sucked in, right? Now, another thing, maybe you love to do the creative work of Norwex, meaning like you like to make images and you like to do fancy posts and you like to create flyers and all that is wonderful. And we need people to be creative like that. But if you find you're spending all your time getting ready to do business, like creating 10 different images, but you never actually do business, like talk to the people or share the image with the people, you're going to just be doing a lot of busy work and never doing IPAs, right? Income producing activities. Sometimes back in the day, we used to spend all our time preparing host folders. Wow, I'm doing so great. I put 10 host folders together. Awesome. Instead, I really should have been talking to 10 people because guess what? Yeah, I had 10 host folders ready to go, but I didn't have any parties on my calendar. So wouldn't really matter how many amazing host packets I had together if I didn't have parties, right? So prioritizing. I need to get my bookings in place first before I put together my host packets, if that's one of the things on my list. Host packets are kind of important. They're kind of like sand, though. They come in after you got the party booked, right? Because worst case scenario, you literally could give them a catalog and go, hey, I'll pop it out in the mail to you tomorrow, right? I mean, if you had to. It's nice to come prepared. But again, just don't take all your time doing sand stuff when you should be putting those rocks in first. All right. And my final thing, and there's probably 1,000 things you could add on this list of sand, but revisit your why and really take a look at what's your passion, right? Because why are you doing this? You've got to keep yourself going. And I think Vanessa said it. Like she was just doing the motions or whatever until she really was forced to think about, I think Brooke talked to her about it. Like, what's your why? What's your passion? Why are you doing this? Because if we are clear on our why or our passion, that's going to get us out of bed in the morning. That's going to keep us, making that 15th connection, trying to get another party. It's going to keep us going for whatever it is we need to get done. And so you want to just make sure that at least once a month, if not more often, you're making sure like, yeah, is that still my why? Is that still what's keeping me passionate? Because now I'm re-energized and I'm, recharged to go out there and share Norwex with other people, because it's a blessing and it's a gift. And I want to let people know about it. And they can always say no thanks, and I'll just move on to that next person. But that's okay, because I know I'm passionate and I just want to tell people about it, right? So those are some things that become those sand in our business that fill in around the big rocks and the pebbles. So although all of these sand things are kind of important, if you get distracted and you're focusing all your time on, making those images or playing on Facebook or whatever the case is, and you're not putting those big rocks in first and focusing on those first, you might run into some challenges. You might not have enough parties on your schedule, or you might be running out of new customers. You might have lower customer sales. You might have not enough time to get everything done, and so on. So by prioritizing those 3 big rocks first, booking, selling, and recruiting in, and then adding in those smaller pebbles, right? Post-coaching and customer care and meeting new people, then you are going to really be having a very solid foundation in your business. And then you can fit all that other stuff in around. And that way too, if something doesn't get done in the sand department, it's not quite as critical. But if we don't get the booking rock done, we are not in front of any people. So it's going to be harder for us to, build our business and share if we are not meeting anybody new. So when you toss in the sand at the end, you can actually fill your jar with everything that you need for success. Okay? So thank you guys for inviting me to be a part of your conversation. And I loved how Vanessa and Amy just totally set our talk up perfectly. Well done, ladies. You didn't even know it, but you're super brilliant. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Carmel, so much.
Yes.
We just love hearing from you, and that pebble, rock, sand analogy, I love it. It's one of my favorites, and I'm glad you brought that up to us tonight. So I'm going to open this up to Q&A. You can go if you have to go. I know it's getting late, so if you need to hop off, thank you so much. If you want to stay, you're welcome to stay. But the rest of you guys, if you want to unmute yourselves, if you want to type in the comments, if you have any questions for me or Vanessa, Amy, Carmel, please, this is your time. This is your time. So go ahead and don't be shy. Otherwise, I can fill empty space with no problem. So I'm going to be quiet for a minute. Okay, that's totally fine. You can be shy and you can ask it tomorrow when you're not so shy. So I did an on-time drawing for a winner of something. I will dig through my stash, and that was Holly Buss. So congratulations. I took a screenshot of it so I am being truthful here. Holly won the on-time drawing. So congratulations, Holly. I'm going to pencil in. Did you have a question, Nadia?
No, sorry. I accidentally unmuted myself and my daughter's singing in the background.
Okay. So I'm going to pencil in July 16th. It's another Tuesday night for our next team meeting. And tomorrow I will get the shout outs posted for the month of May. So thank you guys so much. Have a great night. Vanessa and Amy, thank you again so much from the bottom of my heart for sharing your story for the rest of us. Thanks again to Carmel, and have a good night, guys. Bye. Love you so much.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.